Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to the best of 30 Days of Sketches by Christie's Beautiful Life. And this is a sketch we're using today, and it's by Laura Rumble. And I'm going to have rainbow colors. I'm only going to have one photo, not three. I forgot about the photo corners and those little banner looking things. But the plan is to use it as inspiration. So I am using rainbow colors, and that paper there is from Happy Birthday Echo Park the girl one. And then I had a piece of yellow cardstock. I've had that in my stash for so very, very long. It is real shiny on the other side and textured, and I probably paid a little more for it. But every time I pull it out to use it, I talk myself out of it. I decided to turn it over to the other side because it was the color I needed, but I didn't want that shiny textured stuff. I don't mind the textured, I just didn't really care for the shiny after I got it. I actually used my Creative Memories oval cutter there. I'm making a palette, a paint palette, and of course I didn't have a die that big, and the top part's cut off a little, but the photo will be hiding it anyway. And I didn't want it to look stark white. I wanted it to look a little used. So I'm adding some light blue, well, it's a powder ink on there just to give it less than white, pristine look. And I'm using those watercolor paints, and I'm just going to go around half of it. But since the photo will be covering most of it up, and just put some paint spots on top of my palette there. Now, this paper, that really pretty one on the left-hand side, reminded me of a rainbow. And I thought it was so pretty. And I started to cut it in a circle, triangle-like circle, to go down there in that corner. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I want more of it to show, because by the time I put the things on top of that I wanted to put, it wouldn't show very good. So I decided to do the half and half layout instead. But I am going to cover that corner up, and my photo's going to be in approximately the right place for the photos. And I used my jar card making thing, and this is the smallest jar. And since it shows a cap on top of it, I used the scoreboard first and did a couple lines there like a jar has. And then those little things sticking out looked too far for a jar that wasn't a lid. So I cut them down, and now I'm making my brushes. And the first piece of scrap I had out just wasn't long enough. I wanted my brushes longer, so I had to get another one. And now I am adding gray for the silver part down there that holds the bristles in. And then I'm just going to use a darker wood grain for the bristles. And I am making three because I want two to go in the hole in my palette, and then one to go in my jar. And I am cutting it, I'm tapering it on each side, the little gray part that's supposed to be metal. I'm tapering it on each side, and then I'm going to cut out some rectangles for the bristles and just freehand them at the bottom underneath, underneath the little metal looking part. You all are watching. You know what I'm doing. I might not know, but you all know watching me. It seems to me like a lot of us doing voiceovers are at a loss for words. That camera's just a moving and you're trying to keep up. And mine don't always move with the words I'm saying either. I will finish a sentence and I'll stop just to double check because my computer's not very good. And it will not match up at all. And I'll think about doing it over, and probably 75% of the time I do. But then 25% I let it go because I've done it over too many times. And I think it's just got to go this time. Now, I was afraid that my watercolor wouldn't show up very good on the bristles. So I decided I would use the acrylic paint just so it'd show up better. And I'm having to set them over to the side to dry. But it's pretty warm and humid here today, so it dried pretty quick. And I'm just doing the same thing for all three. And it will not be till the last one that instead of putting the paint over on the lid and getting a little bit off on my finger and putting it on the end of the brush, I get smart and I just flip it open and put my finger on the end of the tube and get some, because I had to throw some away. I had more than enough in the lid each time I did it. And that pink is the weirdest color pink you ever seen. I think it's a fuchsia actually. And every time I use it, I think it's just too dark and too much red in it. And so I always add white if necessary. But since it's just on the end of my paintbrushes, I decided to go. That picture is of Isabella, and she is painting, and she looks so cute and so serious. Haven't y'all noticed that little kids, when they are trying to do something that important, that they're very serious about it? They want it to turn out good. They don't just throw it together, they take it to heart. They always feel so accomplished when they get done. I have got stuff all over my refrigerator all the time. And then because my front door, even though it is in the living room, because my front door is metal, there is all kinds of magnets holding stuff on there too. I never even thought about it being metal, and my grandson was probably 6, and he took off the refrigerator and went straight to the door and hung it there so I could see it before I went out the door every time. But yeah, they're pretty proud of it, and I am too. But Isabella's my great niece, so I don't get to see her that often. But I do love it when her mommy sends me photos, and she does it really well. I am proud of my niece for sending them to me. I am inking my jar in spun sugar, just so that, it looks like, oh, I don't know, more dimensional. That's what I was going for. And here I'm putting these letters on here, and they are the memory box mini varsity, and they're not going to stay. I will be pulling out some Heidi Swap pretty soon, because I was trying to go through my stash and figure out something else I could put on here. And I will use some letters in there, and those will come off so I can get more words on there, because I only managed to get 2 with those letters. Although they did look cute and kind of cocky on there. The other ones show up pretty good in person, but not too good on the video. And everything that I'm using that's Heidi Swap is pretty old. So I am pretty glad to get it on my layout. There were some round, they're clear stickers. I think everything in here is. And I put them on some of the bubbles, or yeah, I think they're bubbles. Maybe they're balloons, but I think bubbles. But I'm putting some on there, and I will find a couple of more things to put. But my title is You Color Our World Cutie. And I did have that plan to pull out. Not at the beginning of the layout, but when I decided to add it, well, it was right there in front of me on the shelf and I could see it. I decided to go ahead and dig, see if there was anything else in there that I wanted. I put that container there so I could pull from it and use it on my layouts. Anyway, in the back here, it has these little teeny tiny red ones. So instead of the 2 words that I had on there, which was artistic and talented, I'm going to have more. So it's going to be artistic, smart, fun, talented, sweet girl. And yeah, it's going to kind of fill it up. But they, like I said, they show up really good in person. I mean, I pulled out several sequins, but I'm only going to use the Brutus Monroe, and I'm sprinkling them around the layout, and then I'll be done with my layout. So while I'm doing that, I want to mention that down there below, you will find the link to the master channeling list that Christy made up. And all you have to do is click play all, or start where you left off the day before, and be able to see all the videos in one spot. And yeah, there's my layout. And as I said, I added the sequins, and they were like the perfect color. I pulled all 3 of them out thinking, okay, I'm not going to have all the best colors. But yeah, I did. I might have could have used a little bit of teal, but I decided just to go with the one little bag. And in person, you can better tell that that is a palette behind there. You can see the shape really well behind the glass. I mean vellum, behind the jar of vellum. And yeah, that's it. That's my layout. Don't forget to check out the Facebook group, and the link will be down there below for it too. And then Instagram, hashtag 30DSBLC. Well, it's down there below. I'm not sure if I got it right or not. But thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate that. And if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate that too. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you who already are, thank you so very much. But have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun with all these sketches and trying them out. Bye.